Hey guys, I'm George, the nice magic gentleman, and it's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content. A few weeks ago I reviewed these two ugly looking fragrances from the brand of Armaf, which are called the Lions Club Monarch and the Lions Club Feroce. Both of them are clones of Parfum de Marly original scents, but there's a third fragrance in this line which is called Rugir or Rugir, which initially I couldn't find, so I only reviewed these two. Well, guess what? I also got my hands on a bottle of this blue one, the last one from the line, and today I'm going to review it. And I'm going to tell you, is it as good of a clone of the original Parfum de Marly scent that it's been inspired by as the other two fragrances from this line. Plus, additionally, I'm also going to talk about another new release from Armaf, which is called Blue Sky. Firstly, I'm going to talk about this blue one, fragrance that's called Blue Sky. Now, to be honest, I didn't know anything about this fragrance. It was pretty much a blind buy for me personally. I didn't know what to expect out of it, and to be honest, I've been quite pleasantly surprised. The fragrance comes packaged in this blue colored box with some silver accents. The concentration here is EDP and the bottle size is 100 milliliters. In order to get to the bottle, you need to slide this part of the top part of the box out. There are a few stickers that actually help stay together both parts of the box itself, and then this is how the bottle looks. It has an interesting design that looks quite nice actually. Again, sometimes Armaf are known for doing these crazy, ugly, bad bottle designs, but this is actually one of the better ones. The cap is plastic, in the inside is plastic, but the outside is metallic and actually has a good quality. It's a snug fit, and all around the packaging here is very nice. I'm going to show you the spray in action. I've been wearing this one today on one of my arms. And this actually smells very nice. Now, to be honest, I don't think this is a clone of anything. I think in this case Armaf tried to do something original, while at the same time they've taken some inspiration from a famous designer scent. This is a very fruity, very bright, very fresh fragrance that just has a little bit of a spiciness in the opening, but the opening is all about the sweetness of the fruits and the freshness of the citruses. There's some bergamot, there's some orange in the opening in here, there's a blackcurrant note, a green apple note which feels quite sweet, and also there's a bit of a green feel somewhere in the background with some addition of a ambery sweetness as well. It's sweet, it's fresh, it's bright, and it smells very nice in the opening. In the first few seconds you'll get a bit of an alcohol blast, but luckily enough that goes away very quickly. On the dry down, this remains fruity, it remains a little bit green, slightly floral, with a bit of woodiness. I think there's a cedarwood note used in this fragrance, and you still get quite a bit of ambery sweetness. There's also a vanillic note listed. To my nose, this smells more on the ambery side, and I think the official note breakdown also contains the note of tobacco, which, to be honest, I don't pick up at all. Pretty much I don't pick up any tobacco. So this is fresh, sweet, bright, with a bit of woodiness and a bit of a floral touch and some greenness. Very nice, very laid back fragrance that's very easy to wear. Now, as I said, I think this is an original Armaf creation. I don't think it's been a clone. It's a clone of anything out there. But if I have to point out something that smells similar or vaguely similar to my nose, it will be Louis Vuitton's Imagination. But this is like a more fruity, a fresher take on that scent DNA without having that strong floral touch from the tea note that the original fragrance has. This is like more of a summary of a fruity take on the Louis Vuitton Imagination scent profile. And again, I don't think this is a clone of that. It just that's what reminds me. That was immediately what I thought for the first time when I sprayed Blue Sky immediately after I got this fragrance. Performance wise, it's a good performer, surprisingly good in fact, easily lasting 7 to 8 hours on my skin, projects really nicely in the first hour and a half, maybe even up to 2 hours. At least on my skin, that's my personal experience. So despite the fact that it's a very bright and very fresh scent profile, this actually has a very good performance. Price wise, I personally paid around about 20 to 23 euros, so think of this somewhere in between 25 to 30 dollars. At that price point, I think this is a real banger actually, because it offers good quality and strong performance and very easy to wear scent profile, and versatility wise this is a masculine scent that definitely works better in the warmer months of the year, but it has enough performance to actually be worn in winter as well. And now let's talk about the other one, the other blue bottle featured in today's video, which is called Rugir or Rugir. I don't know exactly what's the right way to pronounce the name itself. I'm not going to go too much into detail about the packaging, because in the video where I covered the other two fragrances from this line, I talked a little bit more about the ugly bottle design and the unuser-friendly bottle design. So it's exactly the same, apart from the color combination. Here you got silver and blue colors. The same is can be said about the box. Again, you get an outer sleeve and an inside box. The whole packaging actually looks really nice. Again, you get a concentration of EDP, and the bottle size is 100 milliliters. This particular one again is a clone of a Parfum de Marly fragrance, and in this case this is a clone of Parfum de Marly's Layton, probably the best-selling fragrance from the brand of Parfums de Marly. I've said this many times before, but I really like Layton, and I probably have like a dozen clones of Layton at this point. But still, I was really curious to see what Armaf have done with this scent, how they have tried to clone it, what they have changed. So I was really eager to try this one. Let me show you the spray in action. It's a good sprayer. Again, all three of them have good sprayers, not the best one in the world, but still good enough to do their job. And the scent itself, this smells very similar to Layton. Now, when I first got this fragrance and I tried it for the first time, the opening was a bit off, meaning not that it was a bad opening, but it definitely felt a bit off compared to Layton itself, because it lacked that green touch that you get out of Layton, that menthol vibe that you get out of Layton. For the first few days when I was wearing this fragrance, the opening was a lot sweeter than Layton itself. But about 3 or 4 days after I initially got this bottle, keep in mind I've had it for about 10 days, this started to develop a bit of a green touch in the opening. And actually nowadays, you know, about 10 days after I tried it, I opened up the bottle for the first time, this actually smells closer to Layton. Still, it's a lot sweeter, it's a lot more fruitier than Layton is in the opening, but definitely now it smells closer to Layton. You get that sort of a very well-known combination of the fruits, the green apple note, the lavender, a bit of the freshness from the bergamot, a bit of the green touch, some of the vanillic sweetness that you get out of Layton. But basically this feels a little bit less green and a little bit less spicy than Layton itself. It's slightly sweeter, slightly more fruity. On the dry down is where this gets closer to Layton, just like most other clones, but still it doesn't feel identical to Layton, because this still remains a little bit lighter on skin, a little bit softer, a little bit sweeter. And also it has this, on the deeper dry down, this develops this very sort of a woody scent that relies on a lot of the woods. There's sandalwood, there's gaiac wood, maybe there's a bit of cedar as well. It becomes quite a dry woody scent on the deep dry down, and turns almost into something a little bit powdery, as if there's some sort of a tonka bean note used as well. But that's only very up close. In the air, especially on the dry down, this smells very close to Layton. And just like I love and enjoy Layton a lot, I've been really enjoying Rugir a lot as well, because it's done really nicely. Now there are quite, as I said, quite a few clones of Layton at this point in time, and this is in a sort of a strange position, because there are those very cheap clones of Layton like Detour Noir, which is probably the most famous clone of Layton. Also things like Royal Paragon from the brand of Zimaya. Those clones of Layton are super cheap. They tend to cost somewhere between 15 to 20 euros here in Europe, so around about the $20 mark in the US. And then there's this higher tier of Layton clones like Dusk from the Woods collection, like Orienticus Royal Blue, Orienticus Exclusive Wood Blue. Those are quite a bit more expensive. They usually cost somewhere around about the 50-60 euro mark. And this falls somewhere in between. Price wise, I personally paid around about I think 26-27 euros, so roughly around about the $30-35 mark. And it's sort of like a mid-tier clone of Layton price wise, and it puts it into a very interesting situation, because this is definitely better than Detour Noir, for example, but also I just think it lacks a bit of the quality of Orienticus clones as well. On its own, it's actually a very nicely done clone of Layton with very nice quality, and still though, it's in a bit of an awkward situation. So if you want to try Layton for the least amount of money, I would say instead of going for Detour Noir, just spend a few more euros, a few more dollars, and try to get this one, because this definitely is better, has higher quality, and also has better performance. I'll talk about performance in a second. But if you really want to get the best clones of Layton, the best possible clones of Layton, I think at this point in time still the best ones come from the brand of Orientica, but they're a little bit more expensive. Let's talk about performance real quickly. This has been a really good performer, just like the other two, especially in my experience. Monarch has been a very strong fragrance, and Rugir is also very strong. Easily lasting 8-9 hours on my skin, with very good projection in the first hour and a half up to 2 hours. So performance wise, it's pretty much on par with the original scent. So really good performance. I touched upon the price. I personally paid around about 25, 26, 27 euros, something like that. So around about 30, maybe slightly over $30, which again puts it in a bit of an awkward situation. But definitely this is a very nicely done clone of Layton. In the end, I'm going to summarize things up really quickly. Blue Sky from Armaf was a blind buy for me, and it turned out to be a surprisingly good and surprisingly easy to wear laid back fragrance. It's fresh, it's fruity, it's slightly woody, a bit of a green touch, with a lot of ambery and maybe vanillic sweetness. Very easy to wear fragrance that will work great in warm weather, but you can also wear this one throughout the year, in winter as well. It's a sort of a cheapy signature scent worthy cheapy. Really, this was really a pleasant surprise, and also offers really good performance. And again, it was a very successful blind buy for me personally. When it comes to Rugir, this is a great clone of Layton. Armaf have done a really good job, but again, it's in a sort of an awkward price position at the current time, at least. My suggestion will be, if you don't already own a clone of Layton and you want to experience something without breaking the bank, instead of going for the cheapest options out there like Royal Paragon or like Detour Noir, go for this one, because you pay a few extra dollars, just a few extra dollars, but you'll get better quality and better performance. But if you really want to get the best clone of Layton, definitely look up Orientica's offerings. I think they're simply better performance, better quality all around, but they're more expensive. Personally, for me, Rugir again was a pretty nice surprise, and I will say this again, I've said it quite a few times already in the past month or so, but Armaf are definitely stepping up their game right now, and I've been really enjoying their latest releases. And so guys, in today's video I reviewed two very nice fragrances from the brand of Armaf, Blue Sky and Rugir. I hope that you found this video interesting to watch. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me tomorrow for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.